Hey everybody, welcome back to the Commodity Gen. A few months ago, I was contacted by Saker, who makes a little electric chainsaws, and they asked me to review them. So I have it here. I have not opened it. I've had it for about a week or so, and it is time. So let's get down to opening the box real fast. And I'm not sure what size they sent me. I think they have a couple different sizes. It's directions, charging cord, little Phillips screwdriver, little socket that's probably can be for tightening a chain, little bottle of oil, battery, and the saw. Oh, it's just a whittle guy. And you know what? That'd be perfect for doing some of the limbing on some of the branches while I'm cutting. So we'll have to see. See if it was shipped with any kind of charge on it. Probably not, but it's okay. There's a charge. Let's see, is there a way to see how much of a charge there is? There is. It's actually fully charged. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on charge for tonight anyways, just to make sure it is totally topped off. And tomorrow, after I read the directions and all that, we will take this outside and play with it. I have some spruce trees I'm cutting down to stock up on more firewood, and I'll put it through its paces at that time. That chain is tiny. Anyways, cool. All right, and again, that is by Saker. So we'll go out and we'll play with this a little bit tomorrow. I'm going to read through the directions, see what it all says on how to do things, and we'll see you guys in the morning, buddy. So yeah, we're outside, obviously, and we're going to go test out the Saker. The mini saw, I think it's also known as a pruner or limmer. So we're going to try to mess with that today. I dropped a spruce tree out in front of the house today, and we're going to go down here. We're going to do a few things. We're going to see how well this thing holds up, and we're going to see how long the battery lasts. It is fully charged and ready to go. So let's give this a shot. Be right back. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull these or cut these and then drop them down to the ground. I'm going to collect them later. I'm going to grind them up in the chipper for the girls in there too. So let's get this done. It does have a safety button here. You got to push that in to pull the trigger. And I got to figure out the best way to do this. So let's try it here first. Not horrible. Very easy one-handed operation, so. Yep, you guessed it. I forgot my safety glasses. I don't usually do that. Usually they're in my pocket, and they weren't today because I was just down the hill cutting other spruce trees. Let's get back at this. Some of this stuff I'm going to leave until I bring the chainsaw out to start cutting this up into rounds. I already see one thing I don't like. We'll go over that here in a little bit. Let's check our battery, see how we're doing. It's still at 3, and we've got about 40 feet of tree done. All right, I'm going to grab you guys and get you a little closer to this thing so you can see how it works. All right, a couple quick things. To check your battery level, push that little button there. And this has got 3 bars still, and I've done quite a bit of cutting already. To make it work, you have a button that you got to depress there to be able to pull the trigger, otherwise you're not pulling it. Now, as a safety thing, it does have this on top, so it does move out of the way as you cut, and it also protects your hand if you slip and go forward. All right, so let's cut some more branches off here. Again, push in, pull trigger. Now, mind you, this is beetle-killed spruce, so it's already dead. There's no sap or anything like that inside of it. I do have some birch that was freshly cut. We'll check that out here in a few minutes as well. All right, so that is that. And we didn't even use 1 bar on the battery. So I'm gonna look around and see what else we can cut, because I have things I need to do to cut. So we're gonna work on it. I see a few things. So bear with me here. All right, so we just did quite a bit in the last 15 minutes, and we're still at 3 bar. I'm actually quite impressed by the battery level of this thing. I have a Milwaukee up there. If I use the same size Milwaukee as this battery, it'd be half done already. So let's see. I see a small spruce down there. I'm gonna go cut that down with this. And again, still a 3 bar. All right, let's clear out this stuff over here that's underneath this birch here that's gonna be coming down this winter. Now, I know the folks at Seika are probably yelling at me right now for doing it this way, taking down a larger piece that's twice the size of the blade. But when I test something, I believe in testing it. Doesn't mean I'm not going to use it or not going to like it, but I like to know what its capabilities are for emergency reasons. If I know I have to cut something real quick, I know I'll be able to do it. See? That's a decent sized piece of birch. This is all going to be getting cleaned up in the next day or two. Now, also what I didn't show you off, let me take that battery out and clear that real quick. What I didn't show you off on camera was you have to oil this here. It does not have an automatic oiler. You have to put some around the chain and on any of the gearing at the end of the bar to make sure it stays okay. I'm just going to finish pruning around this to make it look decent. I said most of these trees in this table are going to be coming off. Yes, I call it table because we kind of have terraces, and it's just, I just call it table. 2 bar. Well, so I have 1 bar left on the battery. It seemed like when I get to a certain point, it started dropping quickly. And I had no more go-go juice. But still, I'm quite impressed with the amount of work that it did in such a short time. Yep, it's dead. So let me go back up to the house and we'll go over some stuff. So, now it's got a little juice. Maybe I overheated a little bit. No, still don't know 1 bar. Anyways, it's a 4-inch bar on this. Hang on. Oh, I don't lose any fingers accidentally. The teeth are tiny compared to my regular saws. They're just very, very tiny. And that's okay. They actually work rather well. This isn't a chainsaw per se, but it's a pruning saw. So it's not meant to tackle like that little spruce tree I just cut. It's not meant for that. I had to do it because, well, that's who I am. I like to test things and see what I can do with it. You know, this would be a great thing to have around the house if I have a problem. You know, we have earthquakes here if something happens in the house and I need to cut a door open, there we go. It's ready to go. As long as the battery's charged, and lithium don't lose charge that quick, so it'll be fine for that. Will I use it outside? Yeah, I will. When I'm out limbing trees, you know, that I'm bringing up the house to split, I use this instead of my gasoline one. You know, and this time of year, like right now, we get good sun. I can just plug this into the solar and let it go and charge. It's charged in, well, I don't know how long it's going to take. That's the next thing I got to test. Of course, you do have, you'll see here, chain stretch, which is normal. So what that's going to do is you're going to loosen up this here. The chain's still pretty sharp, so I'm pretty happy about that. This is easy. I can throw this in my side-by-side on a wheeler, on the snow machine, and away it goes. So we'll charge this, we'll time it, tension the blade back up, and then we'll play with it a little bit more tomorrow and see if it does about the same amount of work, which, like I said, I'm quite impressed with it. I will walk back over there and we'll walk down the length of that spruce tree that I dropped, and you guys can see how big it is. Back in a moment. I am standing on it, and it's a good maybe 25 feet that way, and this way it's a good 30 feet that way. So you're talking a 50-foot tree that we just did all the small stuff on. We didn't do anything big except for those few that we did. Let's see if this thing will take this last little bit. Nah, battery's toast. All right, folks, so that's basically the review on the Saker pruning saw. It actually did really well. It lasted quite a while. It charged fairly fast. It took about, I think it was about 2.5 hours for it to charge. It is a 20-volt battery. My only real gripe with the saw is if you look here, this is the button you have to depress to be able to pull the trigger. I'm pretty ambidextrous. I like to be able to swap hands, and unfortunately, there is not another button on this side here. I'd love to see it with a secondary safety button, so if I switch over to this hand to do something, I can't. I'm constantly swapping things around my hands to change things. If I'm holding on to something, or if I'm going to lift something and cut at the same time, I can. With this, I can't. Is that a deal breaker? No, it's not. It just makes it a little bit more of a challenge to do things for me. The chain held its sharpness pretty well. I do like the safety guard on it. It does catch on things occasionally, but again, it's not something I really worry about. This little guy is going to get used quite a bit. This is the bottle of oil that comes with the saw, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to put a little bit on your chain, and you're going to drop some on the sprocket at the front. And I did put some on the rear sprocket as well when I had it apart, just checking things out. It's not difficult to tighten the chain or anything like that. It's actually pretty straightforward. Just loosen it up and tighten it up. Not sure how it'll do on the long term, but I'm looking forward to finding out. I will be using this saw a lot around the property, and I will be cleaning it up very well after each use, just in case I do come across a moose in hunting season. I could actually use this to help quarter it up, cut through the bones, things like that. It's about the perfect size for it. I've seen some guys use full-length chainsaws on a moose. I'm not doing that. This will work actually really well. It does also have a lanyard. It's a little small for my big hands. Again, not a deal breaker in my eyes. The only other issue I really have with it is the size of the teeth. I don't have files for doing sharpening that are that small, so I'm going to have to get a different file for it just to keep on hand so I don't have to call and order new chains on a regular basis. It is a decent little saw. Is it going to be the saw for everything? No, it won't be. But this would be good for doing little things around the house. We were using it yesterday, doing some little cuts, things like that. So it will come in handy for pruning, limbing trees as I drop them. Sarah can wield this thing all day. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the quick review of this. And I don't think it's actually quick. I think it actually wound up being a little bit longer than I expected. But I wanted you guys to see the whole cutting of the tree and a little bit of it so you can see how long the battery lasted. So you guys have a great day. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. If you really liked it, give it a share. Have a great day. Bye. Again, thanks for stopping by, guys. Yeah, it turned out to be a little bit longer of a video review than I expected it to be. It was fun doing it, and the saw does work pretty dang good. I'm enjoying playing with it. So this photo here was taken in the cabin in 2022. Sarah was actually looking up at me as I was trying to clear the windows so we could see out. That's how much snow we had here. And that photo, my head is probably about, 13 feet above the ground, and I'd already been stomping it and shoveling for a little bit. Now, don't forget, every Monday night we do have our lives starting at 4 o'clock Alaskan Standard Time, and we are followed shortly thereafter by Adam and Phyllis at Alaska Cut the Cord at 5:45. Make sure you stop by and check out our live and theirs as well. Their happy hour's pretty wild. Look forward to seeing you. Bye.